So today I'm going to ask the age-old question, can shark wheels work in the snow? So I figure since the shark wheels work so well in the rain, that maybe they might have just a tiny little slightest bit of chance of working decently in the snow. So normally, you have normal skateboard wheels, or normal longboard wheels, and if you try to go anywhere in the snow, if you push off, you know, the board is just as likely to go sideways as it is to go straight. And so it makes getting anywhere, even with a little snow on the ground, pretty difficult. So I figure, you know, maybe these can do a little better. So I was going to play around with them and see what they can do. I can already tell that the grip on the grip tape is going to be a big limiting factor. And that's a little bit fast for a test like this. Okay. A little slower. There we go. Ah. So there's not a whole lot of fresh snow. So a lot of it's just this packed down, driven on stuff. But whenever there's slush, like over here, or light snow, it really has no problem going right through it. And it's able to displace the snow quite a bit. And on this, it actually forms these packed down valleys and peaks. And so it doesn't really get a whole lot of sideward grip on it. But it's not just packing it underneath the wheel and then stopping. So it's not as bad as it could be. To be honest, I'm just as sketched out by having snow on the grip as I am trying to ride on snow. And I'm also sketched out by having one hand without a slide glove on it. So I'll keep running for a bit. Alright, here we go. Another run down the road. Keep it slow. Let's check out this patch right here. It's not really packed down too much. See, the problem is, so I was all right until I hit to about here, because the wheels are just too small to get up on top of that much material, you know. It just can't climb on top of it, it just plows it through it. The main problem. And then the grooves in the wheels just aren't big enough to displace this much material. I mean, it just, there's just not enough room to accommodate this much snow. Right, so here's the sort of stuff it actually does a decent job on. Just this really shallow stuff. It's wet. It's still really slippery, especially for a rubber wheel. Yeah, see how I can get it to slide around because it's got all those ice crystals in it. But as far as just getting around, having to go through it, and not having that slide out from under you, it actually seems to do a pretty alright job. Just going right through it. And if you look at what happens in the tracks, you can see really clearly it's actually pushing all the material away and getting down right to the pavement. So I'd say that's a pretty good job of riding through some pretty terrible conditions. I'm actually, you know, if I had to run entirely of this stuff, I think I'd have my feet definitely slipping off the grip. I about as soon as the board starts slipping around on the pavement. Once I got my weight on it, it doesn't want to move side to side that much, and really rolls forward a lot better than anything, which is really impressive if you ever try to do this with normal wheels. You're definitely going to be sliding more than this, and my feet are, yeah, see my feet are slipping off more than I'm losing control of the board. There we go. Found a spot that's a little slippery. Yeah. Yeah, how about that? See, I'm just falling off my board again. Yeah. Yeah, see this stuff over here, oh, falling, is a little more hard packed and a lot harder to go through. All right, so I wasn't able to finish filming because my camera died. My phone died, actually. I couldn't film on my camera because the battery was dead because it was cold, and then my phone went from 40 to 0 in just a little bit of filming I did. So it was just too cold for old batteries out here. But I did get some other riding in, and my final impressions are that it actually works pretty decently in reasonable amounts of snow. I mean, so you're not going to go through thick stuff, and you know, there's a limit to how much snow and water can be displaced by the wheels. So it can't be, you know, much higher than that of material you can go through. But besides that, it actually seems to be pretty decent. Now, if you were to actually design a wheel for snow, it would be quite a bit different. For instance, you know, I think you'd want to have a lot bigger wheels, maybe like flywheel size, nice massive wheels. You'd want the grooves to be much deeper. You'd want the wheel to be a lot softer, you know, so maybe even like a 70A or softer wheel. Really soft, as soft as you can get pretty much. And then you'd probably want the you'd probably want the contact area to be more peaked than these. So it's able to point load and seek pavement a little bit better. So, I mean, if you were going to make snow wheels, which, you know, really, why would you do that? They would be quite a bit different than these, but these seem to be, they seem to do a decently good job at it. So, and as far as why would you be riding in the snow? Well, it could be someone like me who's just curious as to what would happen, or you could be someone who's, you know, who commutes on their board and is trying to push it a little later in the year than they otherwise would and get caught in a little snowstorm. Or maybe you're doing some garage skating in the winter and there's an uncovered area where there's some slush and snow, or you just got to get to that session and, you know, maybe you don't want to be carrying your board the whole way, and, you know, maybe this piece of road looks a little sketchy but you want to try to ride it anyway, you know, that sort of stuff. So I definitely think the Shark wheel is a pretty good all conditions, you know, get around wheel, and it even works in snow a little bit. So I had to make sure I've got my other Shark wheels, my black and white ones, and I couldn't have used those in the snow, I don't think, because they're just too hard. I had to use these soft blue ones. Those other ones would have been ridiculous. They wouldn't have gripped at all, even if they did touch the pavement. So, anyway, there we go. Shark wheels. You know, not that bad at snow. And I have to come and defrost my grip tape now. This is really slick. All right, Longboard Technology, over and out.